Dnešný podcast ti prináša Technická univerzita vo Zvolene. Zvolenská technická univerzita je na Slovensku jedinečná vďaka svojmu zameraniu na les, drevo a ekológiu, no svoje si tam nájdeš, aj keď ťa zaujíma strojárstvo, ochrana pred požiarmi, dizajn alebo ekonómia. Štúdium je zároveň úzko prepojené s praxou a tak si získané skúsenosti môžeš vyskúšať priamo v teréne. Vo Zvolene sa nachádza univerzitný kampus s možnosťami ubytovania aj stravovania, ale hlavne moderné učebne a špecializované laboratória. Poloha mesta priamo v strede Slovenska zase poskytuje skvelé možnosti pre fanúšikov outdoorových aktivít. Jednoducho na Technickej univerzite vo Zvolene môžeš študovať priamo v objatí prírody. Viac o takmer 20 študijných programov i prihláškach sa dozvieš na stránke tuzvo.sk. Ešte raz, viac info nájdeš na tuzvo.sk.
Towns and places. It is always a big dilemma deciding where the best place to live is. People have various preferences which can change over time. The pros and cons must be considered in your choice of residence. Dear listeners, welcome to our next episode of podcasts, and let's dip into the topic of towns and places together. The two main options for living are cities, or towns, and rural places, villages. Both options have their own characteristics, advantages, and disadvantages. Towns are known for their hectic life full of jobs and school opportunities. Children can receive their education in different kinds of kindergartens, as well as primary or secondary schools. Language, vocational, or prestigious schools are alternatives that parents choose according to their financial situation. There's no chance to be bored in towns. You can go to the shopping mall and spend the whole day shopping, drinking coffee, watching films in cinemas, ice skating, or just walking around the shops. People visit cities for cultural events, concerts, exhibitions, and galleries or museums. It's lovely to spend a pleasant evening surrounded by art, and cities can provide this feeling through their architecture and history. However, nothing is that easy, and cities unfortunately have their faults as well. Traffic jams, crowded places, and constant rushing around are considered negative factors which lose in the battle with life in the countryside. Villages are calm, near nature, and typically enable you to have a close relationship with your neighbors. A less polluted environment provides fresh air and allows you to live in peace. The crime rate is lower because there are even fewer opportunities for stealing. The potential for high-quality education is getting better, but schools are usually concentrated in towns and cities. People migrate from one place to another, and the reasons for this are different. In addition to job opportunities, they might also want to move out of their parents' house or just feel a need for change. Moving from one place to another is typical for Americans. Slovaks are more stable and stay in one place for their whole life. What's the reason for this? They're probably satisfied with their circumstances in life, a stable job, and they also become too comfortable to change location. Both stances are understandable. And thankfully, we have the option to choose and decide on our own. When people decide to stay in one place for their whole lives, they try to compensate for this by traveling around the world. Many tourists like to visit places that are completely different from those that they are used to and experience something new. People go on holiday to relax, find new energy, or learn something about these places. If they want to relax passively, there's an option of wellness resorts or spas where tourists can swim, enjoy saunas, and go to massages. Walking around in bathrobes, holding a glass of Prosecco gets you completely chilled out and immediately relieves your stress. If you're an active person, walking and hiking outdoors is the best choice to do some physical activity. On the other hand, if you're a fan of history and cities, sightseeing tours can satisfy your dreams and take you back in time for a while. Attractions like castles, historical buildings, museums, or natural attractions like mountains or caves attract tourists to spend their money while experiencing something unforgettable. What options does Slovakia provide for tourists? Everything, except the sea. Slovakia is a small country, worth visiting from the west to the east. It doesn't take a long time by car, and tourists will surely find many things interesting and beautiful. The capital city offers a combination of history and fun. Admirers of history can walk around the old town full of historical buildings, Bratislava Castle, and cultural places like museums and galleries. The Nedbalka, or Danubiana galleries, host permanent exhibitions, as well as temporary ones by talented artists. If you like fun, bars, and restaurants, Bratislava won't disappoint you. Various tastes are catered for in shopping malls as well as in the center. However, prepare your wallet. A la carte meals are quite expensive. Another historical city known for its beautiful castle is Trenčín, with amazing sceneries and romantic cafeterias on the promenade. Slovakia is the rightful place to visit castles because there are so many options to see them depending on your preferences and interests. The best examples are the castle in Bojnice or the medieval Spiš Castle, the largest castle in Central Europe, or the relatively new, renovated Betliar Castle. Košice is the second largest city in Slovakia and can offer great sightseeing in its historical center, where the most interesting attractions are St. Elizabeth's Cathedral and Andrassi's Palace. The magic of this city is hidden in its small coffee bars, singing fountains, and an atmosphere different to that of its western neighbors. Košice is located near the most beautiful mountain area of the High Tatras. Slovaks are proud of these mountains, which have the best opportunities for hiking and relaxing. A cable car can take tourists to one of the highest peaks, Lomnický Peak. When the sun is shining, great photos on Instagram are guaranteed. Another natural attraction popular in Slovakia are caves, like the Dobšinska Ice Cave or Domica. The Slovak Paradise, Boloniny, or Malafatra national parks are great for hiking and walking and just enjoying the beauties of Slovak nature. If you're tired after a hard day at school or work or even hiking, it's best to go to a spa. For example, in the prestigious Rajeckie Teplice, known for its ancient Greek style, or the spa in Piešťany. The UK is getting more and more popular for tourists who want to visit the capital city, London, full of historical monuments and attractions which are worth seeing at least once in a lifetime. The most famous places in London are Buckingham Palace, known as the Queen's Residence, the Big Ben Clock Tower, and if you want to enjoy a view of the whole of London from up high, don't forget to go to the London Eye. St. Paul's Cathedral is also a very nice place with a rich history, but when you're done with the sightseeing tour, you shouldn't miss a spot of shopping on Oxford Street. And we guarantee that you will come back with a suitcase full of clothes and souvenirs. Another popular place in England is the remarkable Stonehenge, famous for its religious rituals done in the past. Stonehenge is admired for its hugely heavy stones and layout. If you want to go further north, Edinburgh, the capital city of Scotland, is a very good place to spend a holiday. It is an exciting city full of history and modern events like the Edinburgh Music Festival and others. Let's get away from Europe and make a trip to the USA. What is so interesting about the United States? The capital city, Washington, D.C., is a very nice place where you can visit the White House, the residence of the president. The Big Apple, as New York is known, is famous for its Statue of Liberty and Central Park in the city district of Manhattan. The nickname, the Big Apple, originated in the 1920s when a sports journalist, writer John Fitzgerald, wrote about the horse races taking place in Big New York. What should you do if you want to be a famous artist? You should go and chase your luck in Hollywood, in L.A. Dreamers spend a lot of money just to become famous, but not everyone is talented or even attractive enough for this business. But never give up and be ambitious. And if you need to forget an embarrassing audition in L.A., Las Vegas couldn't be a better place. This city is full of fun, casinos, and is known for the saying, "What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas." After a secret marriage with a stranger in Las Vegas, we want to warn you they are real. And you can also visit the U.S. national parks like the Grand Canyon National Park or Yellowstone National Park. These parks are made exceptional by their tall and old trees, protected animals, and beautiful scenery found nowhere in the world. Dear listeners, we have concluded the advantages and disadvantages of living in a village or a town, as well as mentioning some popular places in Slovakia, the UK, or the USA. If you want to know more, stay with us and listen. Every country is happy to welcome tourists, but some countries are heavily dependent on tourism. They attract people thanks to their historical buildings, seaside resorts, great restaurants, or perfect service in hotels. If there weren't tourists, these countries would have fallen into oblivion. The most famous places which rely on tourists are Egypt and Africa, famous for its rich history of pharaohs, pyramids, and palaces, as well as for the nature and wildlife of the Sahara. These locations keep the tourists' interest and bring much-needed finances to the country. Europe has many tourist centers, such as Paris and France, which offers beautiful views from the top of the Eiffel Tower. If you are a lover of art, don't miss out on a visit to the Louvre, where you can see the original painting of the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. If you want to get tuned to Paris, we recommend you watch the series Emily in Paris, and it will become your next dream destination. Another country with a million possibilities is Italy, providing the endless walks in Rome. Be ready. 30 kilometers in a day is the average distance walked, but it's worth it. And you can have no remorses about eating pizza or spaghetti. Florence, or Verona, known for Shakespeare's play Romeo and Juliet, are perfect places for romantic evenings and walks. If Europe is not your cup of tea, travel to Asia and China's capital, Beijing, where the new part of the city is really modern, full of skyscrapers and traditional restaurants. You can taste the original Kung Pao or sushi in Japan and compare it to the version offered by Wolt. Asia provides a huge history of geishas, political regimes, and beautiful architecture. All you need is to explore and let your instincts lead you to the best places in the world. Anyway, always be careful and keep away from tourist traps. These are establishments that attract tourists and try to fool them and make them pay more money than they're worth. Dear listeners, enjoy traveling, explore cultures, settle down for a stable life, and don't forget to listen to us next time, too. Thank you very much. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Write a comment on YouTube, and stay tuned.